Hello and welcome to the Threaders podcast, the show where three mates sit and talk about what they found on the internet this week. I'm Stephen.
I'm Graham.
Lewis. Fucking
I
nailed
forgot
it.
the order.
Yeah, same.
Got the order. Sorry, lads.
That's right.
No wait, is that not the order? Is that not right? Was
No,
it
I'm
no
last
Lewis?
this week.
We usually do it.
Oh, so it is, aye.
Yeah.
Wait, what do we like to do? We like to restart. This is fucking weird.
No, I had to leave it.
I
Leave
think
it.
keep it in. Aye, we're
Why
fine.
not? Might as well leave some form of entertainment out.
That's how you do it. I'm going to turn this lamp off because it looks like I've got a fucking... Nah. Nah, mind. How are you both?
Good, aye. Yeah, no, I'm all good. Thanks for pointing to this. I thought you were going to go. No, I'm good. I got a bottle of Peroni with me. Which is good.
Nice.
And I found a new subreddit this week, which I've been enjoying, and it's called "Does Anybody Else?" And it's just silly questions like, does anybody else never actually click the bell on YouTube, or does anyone else miss Obama? Which is good.
Is anyone else?
Yeah, it's a good little subreddit that I found this week.
What does the bell actually do on YouTube?
It's
It's your
notifications.
phone. Yeah,
But I've never clicked that and I get notifications.
Weird.
that's how they get you.
That's
Don't know,
how they
man.
get
Don't
me.
know.
So I've got a wee bit of an update for last time.
Mm.
So obviously I was pursuing people to get on a guest slot. The main prize being Pooh Beard 76.
Why?
Please tell me you've got them.
He's ignored me time and time again. Sent him multiple messages, fucking DMs, the wee chat messages you can do, stalking his comments basically to see when he's most active before I send a message, and nothing. But I'm
Like
not done yet.
dedication.
I'm going to make another account.
Okay.
And I'm going to fucking badger the guy. We're going to get Pooh Beard. And then after that, Shoe Nice and all the other ones that we had.
Right, okay.
But Pooh Beard's the what's it called?
He's the first hater.
He's
The
what is
OG.
it? Well,
The originator.
a big whale. What's that called?
What?
The one there's a saying and it's like he's my what is he's my whale.
Zero.
He's what rare animal that we want to catch.
The one that got away.
Pokemon.
Don't know, man. He's
no
my
getting away.
Pokemon.
He's no getting
He's
away.
a Pokemon.
I've got some news also to share. Our subreddit got its first award, upvote award.
Is that from one of us?
The other part of the news is it was me. I had it came up on my phone like you've got 30 minutes to give this award away, so I panicked and I gave it to the episode 6.
Well, I was just
I've
going to
been
say you
getting
gave
them
me
as well.
yours.
Aye, and I've been gifting. Like, I gifted Lewis's thread that caused Pooh Beard to come into our lives.
Why?
So I thought that was like a worthwhile investment in my free karma bomb, whatever it is.
Nice.
I've still not had one to give away for free, so as soon as that happens, I'll think of a good way to use it.
It didn't notify me.
pissing off.
It was just kind of like I went in and it was there.
Okay.
So
Same
it's
here, I
happened
think I
twice
said it on
now,
the
though.
I did see a post about it. It was I think it was on like Change My View or something like that. And it was about those awards, and somebody was saying that they think now that Reddit started giving them out for free periodically to people that they've lost all their value. Because
Aye, well, that makes sense
Yeah,
because
kind of agree with that,
people
to
are
be
going to be like, well, I'm going to get some for free. Well, why pay?
Yeah, true.
Plus, what does it actually do? It is literally just a wee badge on your page, innit?
Does giving gold not get rid of ads for that person though?
Yeah, if you've
Oh,
got
it does.
gold,
I forgot
yeah.
there was ads. Aye, that's right.
I think
I don't know,
gold's a
is it-
legit one.
Is that just gold that does that, though, or do all these other awards do it? Because it used to just be gold, remember?
I
And now there's,
don't know what platinum and
insane
all that is.
amounts.
I don't understand it. Oh,
I don't know.
Platinum gives the other
Still-
person coins. So if you give them platinum, they get 700 coins and
listen,
a month of
still-
Reddit Premium.
I still use old Reddit. I'm no.
He doesn't
I'm
even have
not in
gold
real
yet.
this man.
I think when we get
Right.
like 1,000 listens or something, or when we have a bit more of an active subreddit, we should invest in some coins and give out gold for like the top thread each week or something.
I agree.
That's a good idea.
Let's,
Actually, aye.
Let's use this moment to actually plug the Reddit, because sometimes we
Yeah.
forget, don't we? So it's r/the threaders. I always get that one wrong. Is it the Fredders?
I always get it wrong as well.
r/Fredders for the subreddit.
Yeah.
And then at the Fredders on Twitter.
Aye, that is it.
There you go.
And if you're listening, follow, subscribe, and actually messages as well.
Yeah, drop
Give
us a
us some
message.
comments, suggestions to talk about, all that stuff.
We should start a suggestions thread so that people can drop in like links to their favourite posts or subreddits for us to check out.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Going to be Alex, and there's the obligatory mention of Alex. It'll probably just be Alex that posts in there, but it's fine. That's cool.
There we go.
It's going to be like Theo
OG fan.
We're going to just say Alex enough times one day, and he's going to go walking by one of the cameras, isn't he?
We've
He
just seen
said
him
he's
in your
going to come on.
garden soon.
Aye,
He
he will
said
be
on
on.
Twitter he was he was down for coming on, so we just need to
Yes,
invite him.
I've got a surprise for you.
That's disappointing.
I know.
no Pooh Beard, no Alex.
Just so that audio only listeners know.
I was going to say, for people who
there's
didn't
nobody
see
here.
the video, they had no idea.
Yeah, I think we need to be a bit more clear on that from now on.
Yeah.
So,
are we posting this video, or are we just in audio?
Nah, we'll post the video.
Yeah,
I just need to get
It's
around
like
to
you on
posting the last one as well.
that's fine. It's fine.
Sorry guys. That's why Pooh Beard hates me. So I don't do what I'm supposed to do.
It's not just Pooh Beard.
Anyway, routine stuff out the way. That's the plugs and Alex's mentioned, so let's crack on.
So with my thread, I wanted to try and find something about Banksy. Don't know if you've heard of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard about the Banksy boat?
Yeah, that's
And-
awesome.
Right, so just before we get into that, have you heard about the other thing that was going around?
Is this the art attack guy?
The
was gonna say,
fan theory with the heart attack guy?
Yeah.
Mate, how mental would it be if the art attack guy was Banksy this whole time? Hiding
make
in plain
sense.
sight. It makes so much sense.
True.
But
Unsuspecting figure, yeah. But I'm
Aye,
sure
I-
that came up years ago though with him, did it not? I might be just imagining that, but I'm sure like years ago somebody like said they think he's Banksy and he had to defend himself.
I
I'm
know
look into that.
Banksy was-
Maybe talk crap.
I know that they thought it was a guy in a band, and now I don't remember what band it was.
Massive Attack.
I have Massive Attack, that's right. But
I thought they knew who Banksy was. I thought it was just some artist from Bristol.
No, I think
Like,
that's
I
the only
just
thing they
thought
know is
that
that
was
it's
still
Bristol.
unknown. But I think he is kind of confirmed to be for Bristol, but nobody kind of really knows who it is. I'm starting to lean more on the side that it's more than one. It's a kind of wee organisation.
Like
And they'll
anonymous
kind of
type
go
thing.
under the banner of Banksy. Could be like 3-4 people.
I
But
don't know. I'm starting to think that maybe it's Grant, because like Banksy done stuff before I met you, Grant. Do you know what I mean? Pieces, and then you've kind of like been here, there, and everywhere. And I dare
Yeah,
say
that's
things
true.
crop up when I've not seen you for a while. So
Grant,
mate, I hope
How
I'm not
come
blowing
you
your
can-
cover here, but
how come you can afford to send a boat into the ocean, but you can't afford to get this podcast on the radar?
I spent all my money on the bloody boat, alright? What's more important?
Anyway, the boat is it's fucking mental. So basically, just for those that don't know, the government have abandoned all these wee immigrants in the sea, basically leaving them for dead.
as you do.
And Banksy sent a boat out to save them, but it's all like cool designed and stuff, like Banksy design. Really nice story until it got overrun because there's that many people that have been left to sea and it's sending out distress signals that nobody will
no.
answer. It's funny
No
to
way.
say, but how fucked up is that? Like, imagine thinking, finally we're saved, and then it's like, oh, come on, we're stranded
We're
again.
saved and now we're not safe.
I mean, I'd rather be stranded on a big Banksy boat than I would in a
At
little
least if
rubber
you get
diggy for
found, you can
Argos.
sell it.
What is there an update on that though? Like, has MD actually? Are they still
Oh.
like at distress? Like, 'cause surely there's plenty of rich people that could go and sort them out. Do you know what I mean? Like Conor McGregor's got a yacht, do it, and take the
I was
Banksy
trying
boat.
to... Conor McGregor.
He'll run and start punching them all.
champ. I was trying to find an update, like on it, and then try to find just even a decent Reddit thread because I was going to try and do that this week, but there's not really too much. The Reddit thread was kind of cynical about it, but like, oh, if you couldn't afford it to send a boat out, can you not just afford to put money into the countries for better education? And it's like, it's not just education why these people are fleeing their fucking home country.
Yeah.
Because
Forget
of
the buildings that have been
war.
bombed. Yeah.
Aye.
Ignore
your
the
sense of
war.
teachers.
Here's a wee school.
Aye. Fuck's sake, it's going to be gone in a week.
It's
Put you on
Anyway.
iPads. Good luck.
Actual thread that I decided to go with, because it's a bit of a depressing story to go through as well, is an Ask Reddit thread by somebody called Shade Allah, and it's got a lot of awards.
Ooh,
But it's what's a harmless thing that terrified you as a child?
oof.
Oh, I know. Quicksand.
That was in the thread. That's a great one. It didn't even cross my mind. But I used to be so
were you
scared
a
of
quicksand?
every time I was at a beach, I was like,
Don't go over there. There's
Nah.
quicksand. I'm gonna stay
aye,
here.
that
This is safe.
that bit of sand is wet. How do I know that's going to suck me in?
I did not experience that one.
You
Valid
weren't
though.
scared of quicksand?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't remember that.
We
I
grew up
wonder
like right
what-
next to a seaside town, so like it was 10 minutes to the beach.
Yeah, so did
I
I
was in
though.
the city. I was just scared of quicksand. I played Mario 64 a lot in that desert level where you get sucked in. I think
Yeah,
that's where it stems from for me.
that's what I mean. It's a valid fear or thing that would terrify you, but no.
I imagined it would be like a bigger part of my life than what it really is, though.
Aye, no, you really do, didn't you? It isn't even real as to how it's depicted in films and stuff, innit? No, if you relax your body, you can easily get out in real life.
I don't think it's as mad as it seems. Not as quick as it seems anyway. I think.
In films, you're like Terminator 2.
Where has quicksand? I think we should test this theory out.
No,
And you're the
you're not
volunteer.
scared of it. You can go in.
You go first.
Fine, I'll do it. Fine, quicksand,
The
I'll do it.
shortest and all, you're fucked. You better hope it's not quick.
Like a toilet flush and I'm just out here. How we ghosty.
Oh gosh.
Have you got it loose?
I'm trying to like jog my memory, and I just can't think of anything that I was terrified of. Like I can remember a few like moments of things that scared me. So I can share them if you want.
Aye.
I remember being scared of this back in the Sega days. My dad had the Sega set up in the living room, and he was playing Alien. And genuinely, like, I used to just like hide behind the couch whilst he was playing that. Like, you see, as soon as the wee thing, like spider things jumped up at the screen, I was out of behind the couch, like keeping it up. 10 minutes later, like
Ducking
that
out
used to
of
give you the
this.
fear. But
That's fair play.
yeah. And then there
That's
was the
quite
tree
scary.
people.
What?
The tree people.
The three people?
Don't worry, I'm going to elaborate. And this is quite unique. But all I will say to give some sort of guidance on this story is my dad was a bit of like let's say a hippie type back in the day. So where we used to stay back in like Weymouth, there was these few, just bear with me.
You've lost Stephen.
I know he's done. He's just like fucking tree people. No wonder I wasn't terrified of things. No, okay. But yeah, there was these fields not far from the house, and there was like woods up there, and genuinely there used to be people that lived up there, and they were like proper like hippie types, like those people for the Zac Efron documentary. They used to just stay
Why?
up there, and like one of those people was like a friend of my dad's. So one day we went up there just to like see them all, and they had like a pirate. Just bear with me, Stephen, right? You can ask questions in a minute. So yeah, they had like a pirate ship, like a kids climbing thing, like built up in these woods that they made themselves. And on the side there was like a basketball hoop, no net. And one day I was just curious, asking about them, and the guy's reply was basically people that they didn't want up there, they would cut their heads off and then throw them through the hoop. So yeah, I didn't want to do it again after that. Like as soon as he told me that, I was like, I thought this was quite cool, and now I'm scared of dying. So thanks for that.
Dang.
So yeah, bit off topic, weird story.
The more you got into it, the better it got.
Hey,
Oh.
I did not
now
expect
we
that.
start to unravel the reason that I am the way I am. Okay.
I don't know why that was so funny. It's just you just went, aye, there was the three people. But everybody fucking experienced.
But I was expecting it to be like a myth. Like, so we had like
Aye,
a
so
fork and
was
knife
I.
lady who lived in the field. She wasn't real. There was nobody there. We were just kids who were scared of some made up thing. No, these were actual people who are mates with your dad.
I will need
The
to.
fuck?
I will
Use
try my
people's
utmost
heads
to, like-
as basketballs.
I think that was just one guy taking a piss with me, to be fair. But I'll try my utmost to try and get some more info on this, right? But yeah, maybe it's all like a dream or something. I don't know. This
We
was
need
like
to just
years
start
ago.
a 3 people podcast.
Oh, that'd be good. That.
Aye.
Just
Local
quite hard
myths
to
and
find
legends.
people. But, yeah. Yeah,
3
but yeah,
people
that
is the
terrified me
title.
a bit anyway. So there you go.
Do you think your dad could get us an interview with him?
I highly doubt it. Like, honestly, I'm talking. This was when I was in Weymouth, so I was probably like less than 5 years old at this point. So again,
Dang.
could be total bullshit. Don't know. Just made
I
it
mean,
up.
the thing was, the question was like, what unfrightening things scared you? That's
No,
fucking terrible.
Nah, they were all
Yeah,
harmless.
yours wasn't harmless. That seems quite.
Nah, there was just one guy taking a piss. Like they were sound. They used to just sit up there and like smoke weed and cook breakfast and stuff. It was cool.
Cut people up.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Nah, there
least
you
the
go. That rolling bacon I ate was not bacon.
Jeez.
But-
Stephen, do you have a irrational fear?
Mine's is like something that I didn't really come across very often, but when I did, it freaked me out. So you remember years ago, you could send like messages to house phones, but it would read them out.
Aye.
So you remember the voice was like, telephone number. Oh, what? But like that pure horrible robotic noise.
Yeah.
So that voice used to scare the shit out of me because, in like I don't know, 2000 or something, when my brother got the first Nokia phone, he texted the house phone saying, "I am going to kill you tonight," and I picked it up. Now I would have been 7, and I was like, "I am going to kill you tonight."
Oh,
And,
dang.
like every time I heard that, and even you remember Microsoft Sam.
Yeah.
So things like that, just that voice scares me, just the pure dead emotionless voice. Aye, but even when you used to need to like dial 1471, there was something about that voice that freaked me out.
I mean, Microsoft Sam 1471, they feel harmless. Your brother texting you just feel quite cruel. Like,
Yeah, true.
I don't think I was meant
That's
to
fair
answer,
enough.
to be honest. Like that was a joke for my dad, and I was a bit too quick. Nah, I got
I
that.
think the joke still applies though, doesn't it? Whoever answers that one, he's saying the same thing to whoever reads
Childhood
it.
drama, man. It builds character.
That's it. Makes you the man you are now. That's funny.
What a man.
But I suppose back in the day, that stuff was quite new as well, wasn't it? Like texting to landlines and stuff, so it was kind of
So
unexpected as well.
answering the phone to a robot telling me it was going to kill me when I was 7 was kind of fucked up.
that's fair play.
But in the thread, there was a couple as well. So Grant, quicksand was one of the ones that came up when floorboards creaked. That's a good one, because remember when you were younger and you're just in the house minding your own business, playing with toys or whatever, and you still like,
Yeah, just like some weird noise.
aye. But
100%.
there was another one that I seen and I was like, oh, I need to remember that.
There's one I see here, and it says ceiling fans. And I might be making this up, but I'm sure when I was in Japan, they were saying that they didn't sleep with fans on in the room, or they didn't have fans in the bedroom, because there's something in Japan where like a bunch of people, the fans basically fell off the roof or something when they were on at night and killed a bunch of people, and it happens so often that like as a country they decided that we have no more fans. I'm going to Google that to make sure I'm not making that up, but
surely like America, for example, where it's quite hot, they use them all the time. So
Nah, I think Americans use ACs more, like the fans that they have in the wall. Because mine, they have them in like the window. Because I know the films, like people kick that in and then crawl through. Don't know why that's what sprung to mind, but it's usually one in the window in the room, and the ceiling man's in the living room, innit?
True.
It's weird how we don't have like the experiences that most of the world have, like ceiling fans, and I know some older houses have them, but it isn't really common.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'm sure we used to have one in our old house, in like the living room or something.
I was gonna say, I think
Like the wee cords that you pulled, but
I see my grandma's old house had it, but I've not really had much experience with it in my life.
So I found the Wikipedia article. It's called fan death. It says fan death is a belief that running an electric fan in a closed room with unopened or no windows will cause death, despite no concrete evidence to support the concept. Belief in fan death persists to this day in Korea, and to a lesser extent in Japan. Yeah,
Strange.
just a weird one.
Do you think that's one of the ones like that your ma used to say, remember and turn all the switches off in case
Save
there's a
the lecky.
fire?
Yeah, it was really to
do you
save
think
the
that's
lecky, but
Save the
it's to
lecky.
scare you, and it's just one of the ones where people grow up and everybody got told the same story, and like, "No, people die, causes
Yeah.
fires,
Maybe.
comes down, decapitates you."
I've got one. This was genuinely harmless but terrifying. Is everybody's had it. You know, when you go to like Asda or something when you were wee with your mum and dad, and you decide to wander off to like maybe the sweetie aisle or something, and then try to find them again after that in this supermarket that seemed back in the day 20 times the size it actually is now.
Endless. Yeah.
Aye, but if you
Nowhere
remember
to be
back in
found.
the
You
day,
start to get that
like,
sinking feeling that I'm not finding them again and they've left. Like they care more about the bread than me. Right off.
Asda used to be mental and all, but there was all these things for kids. Like when you were in the egg bit, there was a button to press and you heard all the chickens. And then when you were at the milk bit, there was a button and you heard the cows. Do you not remember this?
Nah.
Might have just been one up Rob Royston. Aye, man, I used to wander off all the time because those buttons are hard to press.
Finding all the other lost kids at the wee machine that makes cow noises.
Number 241.
I got a picture of you and my head just picking up the phones on the side of the wall and mooing like a cow, thinking it's just coming out of the tannoy.
Somebody trying to groom it up.
Oh,
that was funny.
Oops.
But no,
I'm just going through trying to see if there's anything else.
Porcelain dolls is a really good one.
That is a good one.
Oh, they're
Because
still
I used to,
freaky.
when I used to walk home from Daniel's, there was like a house I passed and somebody had them all lined up in the window. And every time I'd look, and I know I shouldn't look because it scared me, but every time I'd be like, I'd look up at them, and then I just need to run. I'd be like, I'm running here. I'm running the rest of the way. I'm not doing this.
Oh, they're still weird. No fan.
Creepy. I don't understand why people would want them.
I was thinking this idea about like who buys ornaments anymore or garden gnomes. What is the point?
I think people buy garden gnomes to be like ironic, like it's like, oh, look, a garden gnome, it's quirky, innit? But like, the porcelain dolls and stuff, I'm like,
No.
Yeah, not a fan of that stuff.
But what kind of ornaments do you mean, like?
Like, do you ever get your granny's house and she'd have like an ornament cabinet? It'd just be a glass cabinet.
Oh, just be stuff in.
Trinkets, just shit.
Aye,
like, why?
aye.
What's that? Why have you got a wee porcelain frog? What's that for? It'd be next to like a wee doll, and then you'd have like a plate for when she went to Margate once when she was 30. Like, why you got a plate?
I suppose
That
it's
wee
just
frog
evolved now,
hit
though,
hard,
innit?
man.
Because now you get more like people putting like wee vases and flowers and plants and that about the house, and rather than
It's just trinkets for your life, innit? Obviously, it would have been different things that they picked up for what we would pick up.
I'm not that against ornaments, but yeah, definitely gnomes and like porcelain dolls. Like, no thanks.
Just where you're saying gnomes as well, Grant, somebody has said in here, lawn flamingos.
There's a few people in this neighbourhood that have them. What is the deal with that?
This is somebody's fear though, because their older sister told them if you stare into their eyes, they steal your soul. That was I read.
If she said they steal your leg, that would have been funnier.
That would have been funny, actually. Yeah.
Funny, wouldn't it? They steal your leg so they can run away.
Somebody in the comments who said E.T. still freaks me out, creepy little fucker.
Yeah, E.T. is creepy.
He's a weirdo,
He's a weirdo.
It's just you light up finger and all that.
He's no right up and a wee light up finger. You creep.
Riding in a Wayne's basket on their bike. It's weird. Somebody's put emergency broadcast, and we used to get these in. So Amsterdam used to test their God, what would it be like? The alarms for the war. The first Monday every month we tested alarms. But you used to get alerts on your phone a lot for. God, what was it?
In Amsterdam?
It wasn't weather warnings. It was something weird. It was like an Amber Alert, but it wasn't. I don't think it was for kids. It was just like an emergency broadcast.
It's like too many tourists.
So you'd be on a tube or a train on the way home, a tram, and everyone's phone would just, even if you had headphones in, like the phone itself out loud would just start going off like crazy, and I used to panic because it's also in Dutch. I had no idea what it actually said.
Would it happen to
copy translate?
Sorry, would it happen to everybody's phone at the same time when it happened?
Yeah, like more or less, like a few seconds between. But all the phones would just start going off, and then you'd be like, "Shit! Like this is it. This is the end." And it'd be like, we're testing the system. Fuck off! Didn't do that.
Do you remember a couple of years ago that people in Florida got an alert like that at like 6 in the morning that a nuke was coming, and it was sent out by mistake.
Yeah.
And people
Rather
thought
than the test button, they hit the real button. It was Hawaii, it was where they couldn't go off the
Oh,
island
it was Hawaii, so it was, because you
That would have been
couldn't go
terrifying.
anywhere.
Jeez.
That would have been scary. Yeah, for
Hawaii,
sure.
of all places, I know. It was pure chillest place on the planet.
The guy that sent that must have been like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Like,
undo.
he's just sitting
But
there
he could be
coding
getting
away,
a
and the next
holiday
thing
to
his
Hawaii.
phone goes, and he's like, oh shit.
Was it not something that they didn't even realise for like an hour afterwards? Was it not like a really long time between somebody saying this is an accident and this is the...
Yeah.
Oh man, it's mental how
horrible.
how things like that can happen. Like, how can it only be one person that's in charge of pressing that button, and there's no like are you sure?
Yeah.
It just shows
Yeah,
you though that clearly the governments have everybody's mobile numbers and stuff as well, don't? But I suppose in that case you're alright. You would probably want to know that a big rocket's about to smash you in the head.
No, if it was in Hawaii, because it's going to get me anyway. I'd rather no. I'd rather just get up, have my coffee, put my feet up, and then gone without knowing anything.
True. And that's the thing, what would you do if it was legit? Because there's not much you could do. Just like, oh, thanks for letting me know. Like,
find a shelter and hopefully come out in a Fallout-styled world.
Yeah.
That's all you can hope for.
True.
Did you ever have like an earthquake test in school where it was like, what do you do in an earthquake? And it's like, if you're near a doorway, you stand in the doorway or you get under the... No, I'm sure we did this. Maybe I might be like, this might be just like for a kid where I've seen a movie and I thought it was me, but I'm sure at school they were like, you just go under the desk if there's ever an earthquake. So maybe it's like that, where if there's a nuke, like just go under the desk. It'll keep your teeth in your mouth or something.
No, do you know what to do in the case of a nuke? Inside a fridge.
In a fridge?
Indiana Jones 4, man. He got in a fridge and he was fine.
I suppose that's probably your best option, it? Like, rip the jaws out, jump in the fridge, jump in the freezer. Maybe the washing machine, depending on your size.
No, because you're going to spin around something awful in the washing machine as well. And then
turn it
off. It's not on. I'm not switching it on then.
If a nuke hits, you're going flying and the washing machine's coming off the ground, man.
No, but there's some weight to a washing machine, that'll keep you grounded. Maybe not for you.
I think there's more weight in a nuke, mate.
We were talking about that Beirut explosion. Do you see it went on fire again yesterday or something?
No way.
Again?
With the same spot?
As we first, I think they're under control though. I don't think it was as bad. But with that explosion, we were just saying, like, imagine something just happened in the Clyde with the nukes. Like, Glasgow would just be done. You'd have no chance.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you'd get absolutely wiped out if
Just
it's
takes one wee accident.
Yeah.
That sounds like a threat.
Fucking Banksy's at it again. His next fun thing today in branded nukes.
Scotland. I'll show them all. See, I'm for Bristol. See, I'm fucking Neil Buchanan. Is that his name?
Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, that's one. But, hey.
I found another comment which resonates, and it's swallowing seeds from fruits. And I'm sure this was like a rumor at school where other kids would be like, there's an apple growing inside you now.
That'd be good, but like you wouldn't ever need to eat again. Keep growing, digesting, growing, digesting.
What?
They trim the leaves.
Man. Sustainable for when that nuke hits.
Big leaf beard. It's an apple juice.
Again, I think this is the first time that we've stayed on topic, but the chat is just as equally weird as any other podcast episode.
I know, how's that actually happened for a change?
I'd say, I guess that's a bit of a shout out, but one of the boys in my work today, I was telling him that we were doing this episode tonight, and he was like, oh, by the way, I listened to a couple of episodes. And I was like, it was actually quite funny. I was like, good. He's like, it's just that I prefer those podcasts, the ones that people just talk absolute shite. I was like, I mean, it's not like we don't know that we do that, but it's, it's a bit, when you hear it.
A bit blunt to hear.
Yeah. I was like, hey, at least we've got a niche in the market. Gap in the market.
I mean, we did say, was it the last episode or like just the Talk Shit podcast? That was the...
Yeah.
The new name, basically. So,
true. Oh well, we should
really
probably talk some more shit then. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm alright with that. Like,
so shall we move on? We ready to rate?
Do our upvotes.
Yep.
I'll upvote it. Yeah, I thought it was good.
Same. I give that an upvote if that's quite funny.
On an upvote streak, man.
I
Thought I'd try to cover all bases with bringing Banks in at the front and all, so I'm upvoting myself.
Yeah. And now the tree people have probably got a hold of technology, so they'll be after me now as well for exposing them. But hey, I like to do things with full force in this podcast.
A quick,
I think the Three Beards have read it.
What?
I said the Three Beards, but that's our Lord of the
Three
Rings
Beards?
character. Aye.
Do they have internet?
Tree people?
Lucy, they might have it.
I'm not still. I don't
Electronics
know
now.
them anymore. The ones
There's
I
no
met are
net
probably
on their-
all dead.
They had no net on their basketball hoop. I'm not holding it for internet. It's a Wi-Fi in the forest.
Fucking entrails is in it.
Anyway,
I was going to say, just a quick update. We have 150 listeners now. Shout out to the one person in Germany who started listening for the last episode. I think that was pretty cool.
Poohbeard 76.
It's either that or somebody has a VPN, and it was just happened to be in Germany when they listened to us.
yeah, I guess.
Plausible. Yeah,
150 listeners is alright though, so
that's cool.
I'm happy with that. That's brilliant.
that's 150 people listening to us talk shite. Anyway, should we move on to the next one? So, my thread this episode is Ask Reddit as well, posted by Bao Zedong, and it's posted 21 hours ago, and it's titled "You win $1 million, but you have to spend it all on your favourite hobby. What do you buy?" So, obviously, as usual, I'll give you your chance to tell me, like, what would you spend $1 million on? But based on this, it has to be your favourite hobby.
I'd buy a golf course. Can you buy a golf course for $1 million? Surely. I'd buy a really crappy golf course.
I would buy like a mini golf one or a crazy golf one.
Oh, Grant, you could buy that, the adventure golf, the one that's like, there's one in Glasgow now, Lewis. We should go to that actually. But it's mini golf, but with a bar.
Oh, foreplay?
No, it's called Jungle Rumble Adventure Golf.
Oh, I've been to that, it's good.
I took my nephew for his birthday last year, but I want to go look properly. It was good.
You want to go get drunk?
Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't drink when I went, so I'd like to do that.
You could probably buy one of them and a wee shitty course.
Mm-hmm.
There was a course in Carlisle for sale for 400,000.
Right.
That I just needed 400 people to chip in $1,000, and we could maybe we could buy it.
I'm telling you, start Patreon, man. Maybe we can get a golf course.
We're at 150 listeners, right? So this is what we do. If we get to 400, we reach out to all of them, ourselves included. We'll all chip in. Imagine that. We'll just buy a golf course, the Fredder's golf course.
For me? That's very nice of you
Yeah,
guys.
but
I
we'll
appreciate it.
host like parties and stuff there. Why not?
We could
Just
fuck off.
send
I have a
them
golf course. I'm done with the
message about it.
podcast.
It's pretty much your own island, isn't it? Except it's already on the island, but it's your own space. Imagine
It's your
that.
island on the
Fredder's golf
island.
course. That sounds good to me. Let's do it.
That'd be sick.
The other thing you could do,
also-
Grant.
I was just going to say, get yourself a cracking pair of clubs and a new golf bag. One of the wee hats.
For $1 million. Okay, what are these made
Cracking
out
pair
of?
of clubs.
Gold?
I'm buying a caddy, the golf course. I'm going to buy someone in a cart full of beer to follow me around. We were playing golf a few weeks ago with one of my mates.
Yep.
And we got to like the 16th hole, and the lassie pulls up in the golf cart, and she's like, "We've got the 6-pack of beer left. Do you want to buy it?" Like, absolutely.
Do you want
It's
to
the
buy
last
it?
last beers that showed. It was great.
See the hang
So
is as
I'd buy
well.
one of those.
You could put 100,000 aside and pay somebody 10 grand a year to do that for you. Because you're not going to be on the
Looking for a
golf
job.
course 7 days a week. Do you know what I mean? Somebody just coming
Watch me.
along.
Yeah.
I think you're going to need to bump it up for 10 grand a year.
No, what I was going to say is, Grant, mind that place. I think it's the golf lounge we went to when you were up in Glasgow that time. And it's like, have you been, Stephen? No. It's like an indoor thing. It's like a big projector screen, and you sit with an actual club, an actual ball, and you just like whack it at the screen.
Just a big simulator, except it's in a
Yeah.
pub. And you
It's
hire
really
this
sounds
Bounce
booth.
off the wall.
Yeah, pretty
Aye.
much just full force, and it like picks up how hard you've
Aye.
hit it and stuff like that. And
That sounds quite cool.
yeah, it's a good idea. I think we had a couple of drinks there. I just remember the next day having blisters on my hands because must have just been whacking it that hard.
I was in Glasgow for one night. I'd been playing golf up at St Andrews, and I came down and we went to casino. We won a bunch of money at casino,
That's right.
There's a girl sitting next to us, this older woman. She was telling us that's not how you play this game, and we kept winning, and we really annoyed her. So we started tipping her money. And we were putting bets on for her.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate diss, isn't it?
I had a really bad back, and I woke up the next day in like so much pain because like I already had a sore back, and we were trying to swing it like Happy Gilmore as hard as we could to get. Yeah,
that plays fun actually.
It's good fun.
Stephen, what about yours?
I was just going to say I love going to the golf range and all before we move away from that, and I was going to bring up the time that me and you were at the golf range, Lewis. We started basically playing jackass. We turned away for the range. It was only us two in this bit. I should make that clear. So it was only me and Lewis at this bit. So we turned backwards towards the barrier and started swinging, so that the ball was bouncing off the barrier and coming towards us. And that was.
I'd like to say we were young and dumb, but we were only that young.
A couple of years ago. 3 years ago or something.
I don't know if I trust you lot with the Threaders golf course anymore.
Well, you know what? We're not chipping in then. We'll get it on.
I'm taking my message away for Pooh Beard now.
I'll take the other 148 listeners, then we'll chip it like that. I'm joking.
Well, that's their choice, all right? It's very big
still have
headed
Alex.
of you. Just me, Stephen, and Alex. Fuck it, why not?
I would probably I'd buy shares in Sony.
Does that fall under your favourite hobby?
Aye. I like
the
the news side and all that as well, though. So I'd buy some shares in Sony. I'd probably buy a backlog of stuff as well. I'd try and get like Metal Gear, just all the originals and all that. I'd buy, I don't know, just a lot of antique stuff that I've not got. Could justify paying for my loft to be done so I can make a games room.
If you had bought £1 million worth of Sony shares in February 2016, you'd now have 8 million.
Wow.
Which is that
8
how
million? 8 million.
No, sorry, you'd have 4 million. Still a lot of money.
4 million that I don't need to spend just on gaming. There we go. I've done it. I've broke the system.
Isn't that mad that like Elon Musk or something, just a billionaire, could literally drop £1 million on Sony and it wouldn't make a difference to him, but he'd also then have £4 million in when was that, 2016? 4 years. Make £1 million a year for nothing.
I read a thing the other day, and it was if Jeff Bezos wrote a check to a check of like 24,000 to every child born in 2020, he would still come out richer than he was at the start of the pandemic.
I've seen that as well. That's like that. It goes on for ages, doesn't it? Is it the Metro thing where they try and spend his money, and it's like, most expensive yacht in the world, we'll take 5 of them. And like
it
just goes on and on and on and on.
It's mental that how much money $1 billion is. Like, I don't think people are meant to understand that number. It's so much.
I don't think many people do, to be fair. No. I think it's just 1 billion. All right, okay. It's a lot of money.
I'm going to assume that he also just doesn't understand how much money he's got. He just knows that he never has to like think about it. He's just like, I'm never going to run out.
The only thing you've got with that, and not to like make it okay, because I don't think that level of wealth is necessary, but he doesn't actually have that much money.
Yeah,
that includes everything, like his whole empire, all the assets they have, and like it's his net worth, isn't it? So credit to him, he probably doesn't have like whatever billions it is, but even still, I bet he's got more than he needs.
See, if I had that kind of money though, and the resources that he has, I'd be doing so much good. Like this is what I don't get. Obviously, you have got people like Bill Gates and all that who are doing good with their money.
Yeah.
But like, I don't understand all these million and billionaires who just like, nah.
Just gotta keep it. I'm gonna save it up.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that Kevin Bridges skit where he says like, if I was that rich, I would never walk past a bank machine again without checking your balance. Like, 50 billion in the bank today. You can withdraw £500.
I suppose if you get that good at making money though, it would become addicting making more though, wouldn't it?
Oh, for sure.
Like it feels good when you make a good bit of money the now, but imagine you are pulling in like, I've just done £100,000 deal. £100,000 richer.
Yeah, true. But that was one of the things on that post as well, Stephen. The trying to spend his money, the stupid things on that, like curing like global pandemic. So I think, is it like polio in Africa? He could literally like eradicate that from the world and still have like hundreds of billions left. It's just nuts.
That's insane.
Mental.
I think Bill Gates started a thing though where he's signed up, let's say, like 20 billionaires in the world who like won't give the money to their kids. Their goal is to give away all their money before they die.
Yeah.
But as far as I can tell, like a lot of that sits in trusts in like a charity, but then the kids would own that charity and could use that money for their own pay and salary, which is still a bit messy. Like,
I didn't know that side of it actually.
Like,
I never knew that either.
The Bill and Melinda Foundation, but as far as I'm aware, that would then like his kids would be on the board of that, and then they could take a salary, even though all the money would be in this charity.
Okay.
It's a bit weird. It's all a bit weird, but
yeah.
It's better than saying like I'm going to keep all my money forever.
If I had that money, I wouldn't get rid of it all. Like I'd always make sure that my family are good. But when I did die, I would want most of it donated. Like I'd say like 90% of it, probably more. If you're a multi-billionaire, you don't need all that. 95%, and then I've got enough to keep my family going. There's
that question of like who's going to use that money for like the best good. That's not a good sentence, is it? Who's going to spend that money best? Like if you donate it to let's say a charity where like the CEO gets paid £1 million a year salary, or if you pay it on tax, and then is the government really going to spend it, or are the Tories just going to keep it for themselves?
True.
Like,
I think I would want to look right into it. Like I'd probably handpick charities and stuff and hospitals and things like that I would want to.
Oh, definitely. If I was dying, my last thing would be that the Drake video where he got the £1 million budget and just gave it out.
Oh yeah.
Whatever that song was, I'd make
God's
a music
Plan.
Video like that. Yeah. Like imagine you're £1 billion and like you just had to, one day just give it all out in cash. That'd be sick.
I'd like to do things like just pure supervillain stuff, but like no, like get a blimp and fly out a city, but rather than dropping like bad stuff, just drop all the money. Just make it rain, like literally money.
I thought you were going to go with bad stuff there. Like you could cure polio and have loads of money left, or I could be a
Joker gas
and kill more people.
Fuck good people.
But I suppose that's a different question, isn't it? And it's like, what would you do with $1 million compared to your favourite hobby? What would you do if you had $1 million? So say it's not just a hobby. Grant's like, back to that casino for a start.
I don't think I'd work for anybody else. Like I'd if I had £1 million, I'd be like, all right, I don't know how much it take to start a business. Could you start 10 different businesses and then be like, right, I've got. Yeah, I think I'd just like, I've got 10 ideas, one of them's bound to work. They've all got $100,000 each.
I'd probably start 2, do that for a couple of years, see how it goes, then start another 2, do that for a couple of years, see how it goes, and see if I can make the startup ones go. And then I've got them on the back burner rather than doing 10 at the one time, because that's too much of your attention splitter, so they would fail, I think.
Yeah, good point.
But if I had $1 million, I'd probably just pay my mortgage off, pay my man and dad's off and my brothers and that, and make sure all that was alright. And then probably the same as Grant, I'd look into a wee start-up and do my own thing. Never work for anybody else.
The thing is, I couldn't even buy a house in London. Like $1 million, like, it's a house and I'm broke. Man. Like it's gone. Can't afford the council tax anymore.
My mortgage is like almost done, so that wouldn't be too much of a hit. Mine's is a year in.
Yeah, true. But I guess that's again based on like if you had $1 million right now, right? Because what I was thinking is it'd be kind of dependent on where you were. Because if I won $1 million right now, I'd probably spend it a lot different than if I got that when I was like 65 and I've not got many years left. Because I would just
65, I'm going mental.
That's what I was going to say. 65, I'm mental. I've already said it. You see, when I'm like feeling that way, where I've not got that long left. I'm doing that.
Heroin.
Heroin is number 1 on the list.
There's one thing I'd do with £1 million that isn't heroin, but I would definitely like hire Lil Wayne to come and do like a private concert. Like, yo, come hang up my house, fly in on your private jet. I'll come to the private jet. We can party on that and fly about. I don't care. I'd hire my own Lil Wayne concert. Huh?
Do you think that would be enough?
I know, that's what I was thinking. What if he's
$1 million's a lot, but like,
oh no, 20 Lil Wayne to be
some random approach and you're like, I can come to your jet, you can come to my house. Million.
Please. I'll give you $1 million for it.
Lil Wayne's no worth it. No worth it.
What's how much does a Lil Wayne concert cost? Like 30 quid a ticket, 40 quid a ticket?
Yeah,
Probably more than that, I would say.
but that's a bit
Say-
different, innit? Performing a show than like him running around like your best pal.
Coming to be your pal.
No, just for a date, right? So if he has
For a
a
date.
10,000 people show, a
Just
date.
you and Lil Wayne holding hands at a table for two.
Right, Lil, hope you like vegan food because I've made you meals.
If Lil Wayne was to do a show for 10,000 people and charge 40 quid a ticket, that's 400,000.
Yeah.
Like it's just, except it would just be me, or like you can come. I don't care. Just be
Us
smaller.
plus the
I
150
think we need
listeners.
to come and make sure you don't do it and weird to him.
How to protect Lil Wayne. That's what you can tell him. I'll give you $1 million
like-
plus free security.
How much do you think it would cost for him to just like, let's just sit and like he records music every single day, right? Like just
Yeah.
play all the unreleased music that you never got clearance for, that you can never sell. Just play me some of those tracks. I think that'd be sick. I'm sure.
I
he'd
think
do
it would be amazing. Like if I could sit down with Lil Wayne for a day, I'd be over the moon. I just think the offer, I don't know if it would go through. Like
No.
maybe. Do you know what? Let's be optimistic about it. Of course,
Right,
it's $1 million.
let's look
isn't
at
it?
it like this, right? Million.
We're
How
kind of
much
shitting
is
on your
it
dream a bit here.
costing him?
I know.
How much is it? How much is it costing him to fly his jet for America to here, the fuel, the landing charges, and all that? So you need to take
like
all that into account.
10 grand, 20 grand, surely.
You think? I thought
If it's his jet.
a private jet.
There's a
No, you can fly a private jet from here to New York for like 8 grand if it's not your private jet.
there's a
Oh,
there's,
so
a,
you can actually. I read a thing about that.
there's an app that's basically like Uber for a private jet. So you seen it? It's like
Is this
something
the one
Victor.
where you fly the empty jet back?
Yeah, so it's like they
Yeah,
sell
sick.
off like the empty seats and stuff, but you can do it. And it was so fun. I downloaded it one day just to like have a nosy, and the amount of spam I got, and they're like, "Hey, free seats here." I'm looking at it, it's like 8 grand seats. I'm like, "Nah, I'll pass." And then I seen it because it says like occasionally there's like free seats as well on select
Oh, snap.
flights. So I was like, "Oh, cool." So gave it a look and I checked it, and it's one, very rare, and two, it's like you have to have like a minimum spend of like 15k like a month or something on it to get the free seats. I was like, okay. Sounds too good
There's
to be
one-
true. It was.
There's one I was looking at in Amsterdam, and they used to have a lot of like flights, just private jets that would fly back to London, but they were empty. But it was like 500-600 quid, which is still a hell of a lot of money. But a private jet for half an hour sounds quite cool. Never
Does
did
sound
it.
cool.
But
True.
What would you spend the $1 million on this?
The hobby money. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Way off topic.
Try to bring us back.
Yeah, probably kind of similar, to be honest. Like if it had to be a favorite hobby, like gaming and stuff is up there. So I think either you just invest in like a really nice house with like a proper like gaming cave, do you know what I mean? And just like spend all the money, like kit it out, best thing, screens everywhere, couches everywhere, so you can play them all. Get all the old consoles, all the old games, stuff like that. But then
not start like 100 Thieves, like a 100 Lucy's.
shit. Yeah. Do you know what? That is a growing hobby of mine. Is esports, actually.
100 L's could be the best name, especially if I'm on your team. I secured it.
That is actually quite a funny name. Fair play.
I just thought of another thing that I would spend it on. Buy into an indie like game dev company.
Yeah.
That's a good one. But knowing me as well, I do have I won't call it shit because like I get some enjoyment out of it, but I'm kind of like I like figures, stuff like that, like cool collectibles and stuff. So that would be another one. Just it's not all gaming related either, so I'd just spend a fortune, something cool like that. And then like the secret hobby was always like growing up, like trading cards and shit. I could blow $1 million quid on trading cards. Imagine that, fucking Mew and all that, ancient Mew, legit.
Drag right into a geek retreat and lose them all. Walk in the ash with your hat. Just stuff gets taken away.
Yeah, that would be it. It would just be like geek, if you will, paradise. I think just a space full of that shit. Yeah,
Aye.
That's
it would
bad.
need to be. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So between us, we've got a golf course, 1 million shares in Sony.
I've just made his 4 million. We can get a bigger golf course.
There we
now.
go.
And a game it has.
Start
Yes, sweet.
branching out to other hobbies.
Stephen, can you fund my other 10 business ideas?
Because I spent my money on the golf course.
I spent all my money on the golf course.
I just seen a comment here. Not sure how to spend $1 million masturbating, but I'd give it the old college try.
I totally forgot
Somebody
to look
just
at the thread
replied,
because we
lots and
got
lots of cam girls.
I also was like, oh, I should scroll.
totally forgot to look.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny. That's so funny.
Plants?
Tends to play tabletop
Someone's
games.
hobby is plants?
Well, to be fair, the
Aye.
top comments about yarn, like $1 million.
I can see knitting though. I can see that being a thing.
Really? Yarn? As a hobby?
Yeah, what's your hobby with plants? Like, I'm playing them different types of music to see if they grow today.
I bought a
What
plant
are you
today.
doing?
I bought a
What's a
plant
shit-
today.
shitbox? What's a shitbox Japanese car?
Don't know, it just sounds
Like a drift project car kind of thing.
No, is
Are
it?
they called
Like a
shitbox?
shitbox. No, a shitbox, like an old shitty project
Yeah,
car that you got to do.
okay.
But he's breaking.
So somebody's buying an absolute fuck ton of 80s and 90s shitbox Japanese cars. So. Yeah, there we have it.
Oh, well.
Imagine like a whole bunch of Toyota MR2s parked outside some like your house in the council estate. Your neighbours would hate you.
Fuck staying in Moulton with that.
True. I just thought I had a bit of a thought here. I was like, does it make us bad people that our hobbies are all like? Probably not. It's probably normal, but like all self. It's all stuff that we would benefit ourselves. Do you know what I mean? Like there must be people out there. Their hobby is like doing good things for people, and that's what they'd spend $1 million on.
Point.
And I'm
That
like,
is a good point.
buy Pokemon cards.
Way to make us feel shit, Lewis. Jesus.
I'm helping share.
I've done a lot of that this episode, to be fair. Shitting on all the dreams. Sorry, guys.
I didn't say that I wasn't going to use my golf course to invite people from. I meant to mention at least was people from lesser communities to come learn the game of golf, become professionals, become millionaires. I was basically just funding a generation.
I would let them come and look at my gaming room.
You could have this if someone gave you £1 million as well.
Through the window.
Now get out.
I was buying a wee indie game community. I was giving somebody a second chance at life, mate. They were sinking and I came in, saved the day.
Do you know what I read today? It was kind of cool. Stardew Valley. I've not even played it, and I've been dying to play it. Like
That's
little
such a
indie
good game.
But that was like one guy, and he gave up his job to make that, and now because he made it himself, invested all the money into it, and I don't know if he still makes it himself, but basically because he done all that, he's now worth like 34 million because he done everything himself.
Wow.
I think there's like 4 people on it now, but he still, it's just to help him get things done quicker.
Yeah.
Like they've added multiplayer and all that now since launch. It's such a good game, man. You should play it. It's on Switch and all that as well. So it's not even
Switch is a bit idea.
so PC, Switch, PlayStation. It's on everything.
Nice.
I'm gonna give that a go.
Man, I need a £34 million idea.
Fuck.
You've got one right here.
It all starts with the tree people.
Is it you or the podcast?
Yeah.
34 million?
Either
What's
or.
Joe Rogan worth? I reckon we're funnier than him.
No. Joe Rogan. He's got. What was that deal with Spotify?
Oh,
Was it a billion?
He
Joe
did a
Rogan's
new
net
one.
worth is $100 million.
Well, we're worth. There's 3 of us, so at least 300 million.
Or
303
we're
million
30.
because we're all better than him.
Should probably get a wee bit extra now, shouldn't we? For like, we need to communicate. We're not sat in front of somebody. He always gets them in front of the table. Do you know what I mean? We're got an extra hurdle here.
But his Spotify deal was £82 million, like believed to be
82?
worth. I don't think it's ever released, but that's a lot of money.
Does that mean he was only worth like 80 million before that deal?
I never believe when you Google somebody's net worth anyway. I think it's all kind of.
Nah.
No, I don't know. Yeah, net worth's online now, but nobody could ever really know unless they're like close to that person, could they? Let's be honest.
I don't even think that
Ain't
person
nobody
like
paying
'cause
taxes.
What is your net worth? Like it's just a made up number. Like,
Mine?
it's just
10.
it's a guess. And like we think that you'll make this. We think your podcast is worth this much money, or we think your company's worth this much. It's not really though.
Yeah, true.
Like you say, like Bezos doesn't actually have 500 billion or whatever the heck he's meant to have.
True. I remember back in the
Is
day
he a
you could do
trillion?
that. I don't think it's a trillion now. I remember back in
it
the
the
day you
company?
could do that with
be
your
the first
Twitter
person
name.
to hit it, though.
Did you do that?
Is it-
Right.
Say again, sorry.
Like back in the day you could do that with your Twitter name. Put it in like a little thing.
Yeah.
It would give you your worth based on
Oh,
your
really?
Twitter. Yeah.
No.
So it
Twitter
tell you what you're
name.
worth based on like your Twitter name. So I'm sure back in the day I was up there, but now I'm probably
Your Twitter name is a belter, to be fair.
Oh no, it's like based on like the amount of tweets you've done and how many likes and
okay,
retweets and stuff.
Go to freevaluator.com.
Yeah, there you
or
go.
just Google like Twitter username worth and then check it and we'll reveal
Let's
our net
see
worth.
who's.
Oh, I'm in for the big bucks, guys. I'm selling mine.
I don't know if you're being legit or not.
Wait, I'll send you. Make sure we're all on the same one. Let me share the link.
I've got the link.
All right, mine's is £686.15.
Oh shit, mine is. Genuinely, I might think about retiring. To be fair, Stephen, you're still doing yours. I want to know if yours is higher or lower before I announce mine.
I do it on my phone, but it's not loading on there, so I've just opened up the link. 2 secs.
I could do it for you if you want.
Aye, go on.
What is it? Do you want to give your art out on this? What is it again?
Nah. I'll take that in Discord. My Twitter's private anyway, it's not a big deal.
Pooh Beard will be all over that, like, you spammy bastard. I'll fucking find you.
Fucking hunt you down, boy.
Try do it quick. I feel like we're running out of time this episode.
Aye,
so.
we need to move on.
Well, I'll just tell you mine, right? I'm worth $33.
Nice. Dan, what were you?
600 and something. I've just gone off it.
Oh,
638.
Okay.
No, I bet it's not loading mine because it's private.
That'll be why.
Good point.
You're worth nothing then.
Oh, I'm worth £9.50.
£9.50?
€9.
€9.50?
9.50, mate.
That's $9.50.
I could buy you like a katsu curry for Wagamama with my Twitter name.
Yes, there's a discount on that day.
Yeah, true. Right, upvotes on that thread then, let's move on.
I'll upvote that.
I'm going to upvote that as well. I like the self, what's it called? The little bit of hope I had that I'd one day have $1 million to spend on golf.
Lil Wayne.
On Lil Wayne, yeah.
Or golf, one of the two.
You should probably check he's no blocked you on Twitter after this.
Yeah, he's one of the 150 listeners. He's like, fuck, I used to love that podcast.
No. Right, Grant, what have you got?
Nice. All right, so for me, I forgot what the rules were of this podcast, and I picked an entire subreddit to go through, which is r/shower thoughts, which I've had quite a few giggles just scrolling through these. I'm going to start with one in particular, and then we can read off a few, and maybe you folks can pick a few of your favorites as well.
Cool.
There's one that said, since there are 3,600 seconds in an hour, and most people make less than $36 an hour, their time is worth less than a penny per second, and it's literally worth your time to pick up a penny from the ground.
Oh, shit.
And I walked past 5 pence the other day and was like, damn it, I should have picked that up.
That is...
That's big money when you put it like that.
See, when you're in the silver money, I always stop, man. I always stop.
That's because
coronavirus, I didn't want
to.
Coronavirus, I didn't want to touch it, man. It felt like a trap. It felt like a...
I feel it. Do you know what I did do when I was younger was the whole prank where you get like a 50 pence and I done it right aside my foot and you super glue it to the concrete. I used to sit, like, it sounds kind of sad now, but I was a kid, so it's cool. I used to sit for hours, like, staring at my window, watching people try to pick that up. I thought that was one of the best things I've done in life, thinking back on it. Do you know what? I'm going to do it again one day. George Square, like, super glue one of the new, like, £5 notes or something.
Mate, you
live
could
stream
get
that
somewhere
on Twitch.
and stand on your balcony with binoculars.
That was a good idea.
Be good.
Could they multiple so you can kind of jump from point to point?
That's funny.
Okay, I've got another thread here. It's from Just Josh and IU, and it said, if Eminem's mum wanted to, she could probably make quite a good amount of money from selling her own spaghetti sauce. Mum's spaghetti on my sweater already, and I thought that was a banger. Sure, I thought. The internet both almost killed the postal service with email, and then also made it more needed than ever with online delivery. Which that was adequate, yeah.
It's just seen one that, like, if Pinocchio ever met Voldemort, he would think he was an honest fellow.
That's funny.
That's a good one.
You can't be backwards on a staircase. I've literally just plucked one from, like, what's in front of me. You can't be backwards on a staircase.
Yeah, you can.
Of course you can. You've got
I
a
don't
back,
get
so
that one.
whatever
Oh no,
way
but
your
you're
back-
never actually
Oh,
backwards.
because you're
are you?
going down. You're going
You're
down or
walking
you're going up.
backwards,
So
but you're
going
facing
right.
forwards.
Yeah, that took a second. Fair play.
That one really tricked me for a second there.
That is a shower thought.
That is. I've got
Pregnant
the.
women technically have 8 limbs, thus making them arachnids.
Did everybody else just visualize that like a see-through woman for a second?
I thought of Spider-Man. You mind when like he got the old 90s cartoon where he got the ring serum or something and it turned him into an actual spider and he got extra arms popping out his belly.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Like, this subreddit, like I always usually I just scroll through like my all feed on Reddit, and so I keep I'm subscribed to Share Thoughts and I always find it funny, but usually it's like one every so often that I read.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of fun just to sit and go through like the actual title post of it because there's just so many of them.
It's never occurred to me to actually do this because, like you, it always just shows up on my feed every couple of weeks, and I enjoy it. And I've never thought, oh, do you know what? I'm going to go have a look at that.
I've got another one, which is the spiders that live in Buckingham Palace are probably descendants of spiders that lived there during Victorian times. It's a whole parallel royal family, but with spiders.
Where is it with
as
spiders?
opposed to the ones in Stephen's shed.
No happy with that.
No, definitely.
Lamps in video games use real electricity.
What was that?
Lamps in video games use real electricity. Like the power of that pixel.
That is a shower thought.
That is a good one.
Although I feel like somebody must have been high to think of that one.
That's the other part of this. This is literally just high thoughts. This isn't.
Yeah.
No one's showering. Everyone is stoned.
Yeah. This one's about her. So Steve Buscemi looks like how Gilbert Gottfried sounds.
I don't know who they are.
I was going to say.
Have you ever seen Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah.
Nah.
You know Mr. Pink, the guy with like the you know who he is. He's in the Adam Sandler films and all. He's a guy with the eyes that are like that.
Like the bug eyes.
Aye, but
aye. That's quite mean.
So
yeah.
Gilbert Gottfried's the guy who talks like this.
Yeah.
Like he's the parrot for Aladdin.
I'm on to you now. I don't know if it's Aladdin, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He is how he looks, how he sounds.
I've got a new thing we should be doing each podcast episode, which is get Stephen to do an accent because you're actually quite legit. We had Trump. We had I don't know what accent you did at the start of the show. You did an accent then.
Did I?
You were a parrot there. That was
a pretty good parrot actually.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Continuing our friendship with North Korea. The Olympics is the only time that you can hear "Great Execution" by North Korea, and it seems okay.
I think we should end it on that. I think that's great.
I kind of just want to sit and read these forever though.
I've got this. It kind of makes sense that the target audience for fidget spinners lost interest in them so quickly.
A paper cut as a tree's final shot at revenge. That's kind of funny.
A good thing that we could do, since we try and set ourselves wee goals for the following episode, is each is come up with a shower thought to post for the next time.
We'll do that next one. I mean, I think countless times already we forgot to do the thing we said we would, but this time we did it. We did it with the jokes. We'll do it.
I was trying to get Pooh Beard. I've been. That's been. I put shifts in.
He's used annual leave at work a bit. That's funny.
I've got a couple I want to end on. One is that most people know so little. If they were transported 200 years ago into the past, they literally wouldn't be able to invent anything any quicker. Like people don't know really how things like I couldn't invent a TV.
That's a good point.
Oh, it's just a screen. It's quite flat. Sits in your living room, and then just pictures appear. Like I don't actually know how it works.
Did you say 200 years ago?
Yeah.
Do you think they had sandwiches 200 years ago?
Did sliced bread not just get invented like a stupid like it was?
All I'm saying is I could make sandwiches if that's something that's not done yet. I'm on it.
July 6, 1928, sliced bread was invented. You could invent.
I thought it was
bread
like stupidly recent.
There you go. Because you'd probably do it without thinking, just go get a loaf from one of the shops, slice it up, and then people go, "What the fuck? What are you doing?"
Was there not like another weird fact like that?
Terrorist.
Like, tin openers were invented before tins were or something.
What? What?
Like
No.
there's a stupid fact like that. Like,
Is it not because like I don't know? I was gonna say because like actual tinned food wasn't invented, that it was like made for something else. I could be wrong, but I feel like I've read that as well. The second hand is usually the third hand on a clock.
aye.
Interesting.
I like this
You've
one because it's
got
very
4
relevant
minutes
for.
left here, by the way.
That's fine.
We'll wrap this up good. Last one then, which I think is just funny for my job, which is somebody at Google literally sat down at a table one day and went, "Yeah, Google Maps will just literally drive down every fucking road on Earth with a camera. It'll be fine." And that's what they did.
That's some executive that's came up with that idea, innit? And all of you guys know, so like, how the fuck are we going to do this?
Yeah, that's wild.
Right. Rather than upvotes and downvotes on that one, would you subscribe to that thread again, or
like
is that an unsubscribe?
I would subscribe to that. Yeah. What?
Yeah. Do you subscribe or do you follow to
Subreddits, yeah.
You subscribe to
join or you
subreddits,
leave?
Oh, I used to be subscribed, I'm sure.
Aye,
It is join and leave now. But yeah, I am joined, so I don't intend on leaving.
I
One
am
of
joined
us.
as well.
Me too.
Right.
Sweet.
Well,
I got the first 3 joins on the podcast. What's up?
Shit.
Let's retire that bit.
And as a prize, we have Halloween. Yeah, I feel like we spoke a lot of shit on that one, and
that was
true
a
to our
episode.
nature, but I had fun, so appreciate it.
Please subscribe to r/threaders. Follow us on Twitter at the Threaders. Send us your suggestions for subreddits, for posts. If you have any hate, please send them to Lewis.
Of course.
# Free Britney.
One love.
Also, Pooh Beard, please, man.
Please.
Just respond. You don't even need to come on at this point. Just respond.
You sound like Stan.
Is there such a thing as like Twitter fingers for Reddit? Is it Reddit like a keyboard gangster?
I think it's just
Yeah,
keyboard.
he's just not going to reply, is he?
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he's like shit himself because you're being so pushy.
Oh, come on, you own this podcast, boy.
Pooh Beard shit himself. The right state.
It's actually Boris Johnson. That's what he does in his spare time. On that note, lads, pleasure as always.
Right.
Catch us next time.
See you next time. Take care.
Bye bye.
Don't know the theme.